are songs that we're still listening to right now. But if you look at the quality of how they started out, and you probably feel like they could have been more. I mean, I just, took off little patience from the very legendary Majekodumi Fashek. I mean, great, amazing. I was privileged to meet him in 2020, in 2000, I think before COVID. I can't remember. I think maybe around 2018 or 2017 or thereabouts. When he came out of rehab and everything, and I just kept telling myself like he could be more, but he's giving us so much to consume, songs that appeals to us. And I told you, I said, you know what? Maybe a lot of Nigerians don't understand what came up with that song. Send Down the Rain. That was a song that it was more like a national anthem, because I read in story that when that song came out, there was a mini drought in the country the year Majek Fasher released that song. And when he released the song, it was almost like an appeal to God to open the heavens, and heavens opened and it was raining. So, I mean, you look at all of these histories and you ask yourself, how much more can we get from the guys that we're living with right now? Big shout out to this generation. I love this music. I mean, I'm 100% Nigerian artist guy. You always know that. But sometimes you have to just listen to Mainland FM on the Thursday, and then you enjoy every single bit of it. I'm talking about Thursdays. It's an avenue for us to have the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper, Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adéyẹmí, join us on the show. And boy, oh boy, the last 24 hours had been very interesting, especially after the statement of the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, and Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, talking about support for the establishment of an independent Sharia arbitration panel in Ekiti and Oyo State. I think on Monday, somebody tagged me something on one of the social media platforms. And by the way, I have to join Kunle Daniels every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. on Afro Timeout. You would love it. I assure you that. You would certainly love that program. So I'll make it daily with us next week, Thursday. So I was saying, somebody tagged me on one of our social media platforms, I think on Monday, or I think Friday or Monday, of a notice of inauguration of a Sharia arbitration panel. And one of the things that struck me was, how did we get to that point where immediately it took a different dimension? There were reactions to it. Voices started coming up, and people started saying, no, it can't be, don't worry, it's not good. Also, the Sultan of Sokoto, which also is the president, the conversation of Muslim tickets came back into the space, and people started saying, oh, this is the consequences of the political decisions you made in 2023 by voting a Muslim. And I'm like, hang on, I thought we said we tolerate ourselves religious wise. I was talking to Said before I came on. I said my best friend is actually a Muslim. In fact, his dad is the chief imam of the Central Mosque of Owo. He is my best friend, and we've been friends for over 20 years. I have friends across board, people that don't even believe in the existence of God. You find people and respect people based on their religious belief, if there's anything like that. However, we'd always push that we must constantly tolerate ourselves in this country. So perhaps I've seen families where the father is Muslim, the mother goes to church, the children can do whatever they want to do. When it's Ileya, the father celebrates the kills ram. When it's Easter, the mother. There is always, especially within the Southwest here, you would always see inter-religious marriages almost in every single family. Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adéyẹmí is on the show today, and I had to squeeze him out of a very important meeting, and I appreciate him for that. He's going to help us break down this conversation. The Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, that's Ìbà Gani Adams, had come out to condemn the position of the Sultan of Sokoto, and a lot of other people had also come out to talk about it. Maybe Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adéyẹmí will break this down to us the more, and then we'll understand, how we got to where we are today. Because our Guardian newspaper actually did a report on that Southern backs Sharia law in Oyo and Ekiti. Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adéyẹmí, it's another Thursday, and today is going to be a different kind of Thursday, because I have a feeling that conversation that will touch some sensitive part of our existence will be held on the show today. And I think everyone is looking forward to that. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, good evening, Okoyemi, and good evening, Lagos. I trust God, all of you are good.
Well, we're trying. We're trying to be fine, and I'm sure you've been following the conversation around, especially. Well, it's not a new conversation, but probably because of the sensitivity of same, it didn't exactly come out to the open for discourse. Yes, Saidfa talked about it in the morning with Sage, but the statement of the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs and also the Sultan of Sokoto, kind of escalated the whole issue to the point that the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Iba Gani Adams, had condemned the attempt to introduce Sharia in the southwest, saying it is alien to the Yoruba culture and Yoruba's religious belief. Can you lead us into this conversation to start with?
Well, I think let's understand some things about Sharia law in Nigeria. And I was talking from my personal experience because when Yarima was to start it, to launch it in Zamfara in October 1999, I was privileged to be in Gusau to watch the launching of Sharia in Nigeria. Yarima, that was the governor of Zamfara State. For a week, I was there at least to observe how things would be, what was going to change. And again, few years after, about 2 years after, 2001 to be specific, when Malam Jangebe was the first person to submit himself for Sharia treatment, and then when when they cut his hand, Malam Jangebe then at least stole, I think, a cattle, I think, and he was now, when they said it was optional, that you want to go for the normal law according to the Constitution of Nigeria, or you prefer to take Sharia. And if as a Muslim, if you are seen or commit a crime and you try by Sharia law, so you have the belief of not just only at the end of the day that you're going to have a kind of divine, the sentence comes from divine, you are going to be forgiven, you understand, divinely, to have gone through the punishment as prescribed by the Sharia law. And Malam Jangebe submitted himself for such, and his right hand was cut. So I spent more than 1.5 weeks in Gusau, because after cutting his hand, he was kept in the government house. I watched the man for the first 1 week or thereabouts, trying to use one hand to do ablution, to pray, and I was able to watch him learning the new skills of doing everything with
one hand.
Yes. So, imagine somebody now using the keg for ablution, using the two legs, to be pouring water in the left in his left palm, right? And trying to do that before he does it one or twice, the thing will fail, all the water will leave, will fall off, then go and get another water. So I watched all those things. I'm only preparing grant for it. And we were able to investigate which hospital did the operation. So it was done. They had Federal Medical Center in Gusau, was the only standard hospital there that could be used for such. But because of federal government stance on it, so they used the best state hospital that has the kind of a modular theater in which such operation could be done. And they found that one in Talanta Mafara. That's the name of the town, Talanta Mafara, and that's where they did the operation. I had the opportunity of seeing some of the nurses. I think that were there when they did the operation. But we saw that even when the thing happened, well, people were still drinking beer. You understand? Not people. I think I and the guardian photographer that we left, we went together. His name is Tᴏɪᴜnᴜ. He's no more in the guardian. His name is Tᴏɪᴜnᴜ. So I think we got places where people take beer. You understand? Not only in Mami Market, even in this town. So life goes on. But to shock you, when Yerima left office, he started it, he established it. And when we had a lot of cases about marriage, about traditional issues, majorly civil matters being tried in the Sharia court, right? So civil matters, something that attracts 3 or 4 strokes of cane or 10 strokes of cane, were those when they were tried in Sharia court in Zamfara. And believe you me, sincerely speaking, when Yerima left office, he was accused of embezzling several billions of naira. And people now say, well, Yerima, you started Sharia in Nigeria.
You caught somebody's hand for stealing a cow.
Yes, he caught Malam Jangede's hand. I'm mentioning it because I saw him and I was there. So you also must be tried by Sharia law. No, he said no. That even in the law they put there, it's optional. So if you choose to be tried by Sharia, that's why they're going to try you by Sharia. If you choose to be tried by regular court, you'll be tried by a regular court. So he chose to be tried by regular court, where he examined about 4 or 5 senior advocates of Nigerians, at least to defend him, and the rest is history. The same thing you saw the thing out spread. That was the first challenge President Obasanjo had as the president of this country. But perhaps because he had experience of governance, not somebody just coming for the first time, he said that this thing is political. If you are making serious issue with them, that's why you escalate it. But let's wait and see what happens. But Yerima's single action to be refused to be tried by Sharia court, you understand, I think proved Obasanjo right. You understand? So again, some governors, states adopted it. How many of them, when they left office, you understand, have told EFCC or whatever that, no, let me be tried, you understand, in the Sharia court? None. We have not seen one. We have not seen one. Kanu accepted it, right? When Kwankwaso left office, right, he was not, I think he did not allowed to try other Sharia. And we can come to mention names and names and names. But the first question I want our listeners to first let us look is that the constitution, the law of Nigeria we are using, is it a Christian constitution? Is it a Christian constitution? Is it a it's not a Christian constitution. So I mean, there are Christian constitutions, right? But Nigeria did not adopt a Christian constitution, neither adopted a Muslim set of constitution, otherwise called Sharia. But we are saying, even in the north, how many criminal matters, how many times have we seen somebody committing crime and being stoned to death as prescribed by Sharia? How many people that even stealing, cattle rustling is a major criminal offense in the north. So apart from Malanjangebe, Google search, ask if they have seen any other person that went through that punishment again in Nigeria. Then how many governors have surrendered themselves? How many senators? How many reps? How many members of the assembly have surrendered themselves to be tried for criminal activities under the Sharia? You understand? So what I'm saying is that when some people just thought it's time maybe to create issue from now, well, I want to admit, and I'm saying this with everything responsibility, the West, the Eastern culture, which we have called this Islamic culture, is really is advancing. I think it is sponsoring many activities, not only in Nigeria, right? So we have many Islamic organizations You understand? That are getting money, people as far as Afghanistan, people as far as Somalia, that they are sponsoring them to entrench one thing or the other, not simply because those things have given them peace in their land. Right? Now, let's see. There's Sharia in Zamfara, if you know another place. There's Sharia in Sokoto, where as a 3 months, 3 years ago, no, 2 years, about yes, 2 or 3 years ago when I was still there, we still saw people drinking beer and enjoying themselves. Just go there. People, there's a place in Sokoto, it's like it's a popular place in town. At night, they will not put on light. You know, just a big place. But at the outside, there is no light. But you see everybody going there and go and drink beer and do whatever they wanted to do. I was in Niger to go and interview General Yakubu. Abubakar Malami when he turned 80. You understand? Because we saw him right in the town, not too far from his house and Babangida's house. I think there is a place there where people drink there. You understand? And they are talking of their Sharia. Their Sharia is there. It's not only there that drinking there. We saw red streets in all those areas. You understand? But the point we are making is that when people are free to live their life they wanted to live. But anything you do that has not had any and not affected any other citizen, right? Maybe the constitution may not and look too deep into that. But what I'm saying is that what is the essence of bringing this every time maybe you have a sultana, right, as a president, or you have a ministry of development. Do you understand? So those are things we continue to interrogate. So when those that have done it, how far? As a Zamfara better with Sharia introduced on October 1999. This is a place that the bandits, the criminals, you understand, I think having Tuesday using the name of God, at least to initially come to these people after like Ukarawa, Lukurawa, whatever. They got there saying they are introducing a better way of Islam to the people. You understand that we do this, so after we protect you, when you make sales, yeah, you pay 10%, or you different kind of zakat, or yes, zakat. Yes, sorry if I pardon, our leader should pardon me if I didn't pronounce such name clearly or as correctly as it should be. So, but they use that to penetrate to the people. You understand that we protect them, they will do this. Now, they have become, I think, a thorn in the flesh of the people they promise
to protect.
Let's see what's happening in Sokoto now. Let's see what is happening in Zamfara. Let's see what is happening in Kano. You understand? As life better in those places. You understand? I'm not condemning Sharia law. No. You understand? I'm not. But there are cultures, right? There are cultures in Saudi where they practice it. They were born into it. That was their culture. But even if I never agree with the Ghanaian, he got this one right. That I think your culture in Yoruba land does not allow for that, especially in the southwest. I'm talking to you. My family background, my mother from Oyo, they are Muslim. I have many Muslim cousins. I have many Muslim nieces. And then we grew up and we do everything together. My father owned a church. And in my father's church in Abeokuta, when they had issues, there was a rainfall a day for the Ileya
celebration.
No place for the people in Abiola was very close to the Abiola Mosque and the Muslim institution. You understand? They had issue where to pray, and they came to my father that we had this problem. So, and there's no problem. We have a car park, almost more than a plot of land. He surrendered it to them to go and do their prayer, and they have been doing that for the past 6 years, about 7 years. My father died 5 years ago. The Muslim institution and the Quranic school in Abdullah, we're still giving awards till now, till this year. right? I'm telling you how we are tolerant when it comes to religion, right? I'm telling you our culture. You understand? So when I was born in the morning, 6 a.m., 6:10 they did the naming ceremony. And for example, people ate bread and I was told that they ate bread and what call it a fish stew. No, that's what they serve. And go to. And the evening, Muslim came and they named me Mukaila. So I answered Michael, and at the same time Mukaila. Do you understand? No, has that changed me? Do you understand? When I'm in Oyo, I'm free with my cousins and these are the Muslims. Do you understand? And they come to the house. My father, I think the clergy, he will give them a place dedicated for them to be praying. That's how we have been living our life. So, but if anything to separate us as people, anything to say, God did not separate us. Anything to separate us, I think as Yorubas, then we have to come down to that, must be strongly resisted. The constitution we are using now is not it's not promoting Christianity. It's not a constitution that was taken from the Bible. There's nothing there as biblical in the constitution we are using to try both civil and criminal matters. What is Christian there? What is Jesus there? Why would I go to separate it? I think for me, I think somebody that knew it, that has saw where it has happened, saw where it was launched, and the life pattern there up to now, I think we should not in any way begin to allow such to divide us. We are living peacefully. We are concerned here, I think, about development. Yorubas have been concerned about progress. We are concerned about to live peacefully with ourselves. Go and see many places in Yoruba land. I used to use a place as a point of reference in Oru in Ijebu. You will see the central mosque and the church, the road that passed through that divided them, not up to 10 feet, right? And you see a family, they park the car, the wife will go left,
the husband will go right.
So whenever they are through, we wait for the other. So when they are having a layer, we add it together. So when they are having a Kore or harvest, the convention, they will have it together. That is life. So such fundamentalism and such is not written in the culture. It's not allowed in the culture of the South. It's typical southwestern Nigeria. And what they are bringing to us now, I think is straight to us. And I think as a person, I think that's our opinion, please. It should be resisted and not be allowed by anybody. Are people in the kitchen don't ever be happy, ever seen? Are people in Oyo ever be happy? Has anybody cheated them? Has anybody said because of religion they were denied anything? Were they not good mosques in the kitchen? Were they not good mosques in
Oyo State?
Oyo State? You understand? Tell me, how would that bring bread to our table? How would that solve our problem of employment? How would that solve problem of inflation? How would that solve problem of Oyo State that has a mass land that's supposed to feed it forever from Benue, so they can eat here? How would they? How would people with land mass in Oyo State, they are still expecting, I think, somebody to bring this, I think, from Maiduguri, and for them to eat or for pepper from across Niger before they can eat? How would that solve that problem? Is that the essential problem we are facing as the people? What I'm saying is that because the law we are using now, both civil and the criminal, they are simply not Christian laws. They are not pagan laws. But those laws that are functional based on our history, based on our essential issues, and they were crafted to guide our existence. So please, let those that, if Sultan of Sokoto is saying this, do you understand? Ask him how many people have they used a criminal aspect of it to punish. Do you understand? In Nigeria, our people here do the kind, we enjoyed it. Our people here we're doing many ceremonies that of Muslim based. We are also participating in it. But all issues that we divide those people, I think it's political. and to be system.
Mr. Devi, I mean, if you're streaming live, by the way, we're streaming this program on Facebook and on YouTube, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM and youtube.com /mainland FM. I'm actually here and I'm wondering what this whole experience that Mr. DMA had told us today. How his father had to, vacate a plot of land beside his house, his father being a pastor, to allow the Muslims in the community to pray on that land. Like I said also in the introduction, my best friend is actually, in fact, the dad is the chief imam of our Central Mosque, and we've been friends for about 22 years right now. We've shared the same room in the university. We've never had any reason whatsoever to disagree based on religious beliefs. He prays when I go to church. We do everything all through our undergraduate days. So sometimes you look at our level of religious tolerance and then you ask yourself, these all sentiments that we're weeping, whether it is religious, Muslim ticket, whether it is Islamization agenda, whatever it is, how has it helped us? How has it brought down the price of a bag of rice? How has it brought down the price of petrol in the fuel station? How has it brought security to Borno State? How has it stopped the killing in Zamfara State? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves, and these are the questions that my guest today would help us unravel. So stay with us. And Mr. Diami, let me read something to you, and that would lead us into my next line of question. The Sultan of Sokoto-led Islamic body had condemned the opposition to Sharia law in the Southwest. That is the headline. And so let me read the body of it. The Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, under the leadership of the President and Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, had expressed worry over what is called the high spread of intolerance and disregards for the rights of Muslims, especially in the southern part of the country. The statement, which was signed by Imam Aaron Mohammed Eze, the Deputy National Legal Advisor, expressed, and I quote, "The most recent of this development is emanating from Ekiti State, where the effort of the Muslim community to set up an independent Sharia in quote arbitration panel was met with unwarranted resistance and objection from both the political and the traditional quarters. This is coming barely few weeks after the announcement of the inauguration of a Sharia panel in Oyo State generated unnecessary anxiety before leading to the independent postponement." Imam Eze goes on to say that the independent arbitration panel, which is a voluntary platform designed solely for the resolution of civil and marital dispute among consenting Muslims, was to fill the inexplicable vacuum created by the failure of the political elite in the Southwest to establish Sharia courts as allowed by the Nigerian Constitution in Southwestern State, despite the huge population of Muslims in the region. Now, Mr. Diami, you and I know that one of the most sensitive conversations in this country is the issue of religion. And we always come out to say that, oh, we tolerate ourselves, we do this, but the tolerance level in the last 24 hours that I've seen, it just shows that all of this is just paper over cracks. We're just trying to, just it's how appropriate was this statement, especially after the governor read before he started.
Twice. Madam Fodi say, he has any spelling. He was a retired soldier. You understand? That he's trying to inspire. You understand? And I don't see him succeed. Because let's do something. The Muslim, as a true Muslim, can a chief imam in Lagos or Ibadan or Osogbo or Ekiti or another thing about lead prayers and they will queue behind him? You understand? For the prayer. Let me ask him first. You understand? Because if you want to penetrate here, you understand? To be saying things that anathema to our culture to our existence. No matter the culture and system, the scholars there will say that then a little things can just be used to sweep away their illiterate guys, the Almangeris. You can't do that here in Southwest. Go there, they will tell you that this Almangeris is good, is whatever they are doing, and show him to the street and they begin to hear that what we are all you are then but yes, Whereas that go say, who is this? I told the former for that. The digital is as the king of Sharia at the level of division of innocent of unsuspecting Nigerians, at least from the critical questions of existence. That's why they will look for a way of bringing in a religion matter in Greece. So I have no issue with
Sultan.
So we can see the level. We can see the level of development in Sokoto. I did not say that they are feeding fat on Lagos State, on the southwest. You understand? If we are to be a serious country, when anybody thinking, what has it done to develop the Sokoto State? You understand? They say that taking 347% of the VAT they are contributing. 305% what they are lending they have in Sokoto, and that is our culture here. We respect our Muslims. But it's why it is a deacon at the redemption of Christ. And it's a Christian. No problem. It's just what a God, worship God in the of humanity. What is your attitude? Are you making things? Are you making life easy for everybody? How tolerant are you? How merciful are you to others? That is religion, not that until you use any whatever to divide people and cause crisis when there is no crisis. And that is people among the Muslim in his family and in the street. Can I use that? No, I think they are wrong, and they are wrong, and they are wrong.
I mean, the way you emphasize they are wrong 3 times is as emphatic as it can get, but it's okay. And I've always wondered, Mr. Adeyemi, that come up, though that's maybe give me a better judgment to go something else and the settler in catches of danger coming ahead of us.
Because taking it slightly, that you get a point. We are talking of this century. So, if some homes, some real Muslim homes, there's level of civil aspect of it they practice in their homes. No, who cares about that? What do you do? But by the time you are bringing it up, and when you are bringing up with this enlightenment, it's like you are advancing it. It becomes that it's like worshippers or are they not doing it?
Yes.
You understand?
It's a global fiesta.
The issue as sensitive, right, as this is divide to fight. Do you understand? And if anybody say we are not speaking the truth, let's go into it and see how it begins. Do you understand? Let's see how, if it will help Nigeria to solve our problem, or that way to solve our problem. Let's see. Do you understand? Because I just simply don't see why. Don't agree with me. He has political undertone. Whether in Lagos or wherever, it has political undertone. And the more not only government now come into this matter without sentiment. Unfortunately, we are a country being ruled by emotion.
Emotions. Pure emotions.
Yes. Pure emotion directs us, guides us. Even if we are doing what is wrong and people are laughing at us, that see how at times some things happen that when Trump is dealing with you, do you understand? Do they know actually what is happening? So you use a lot of centrifugal issues to cause division among your people. You hinder development. You bring the real development. When you put a wedge in all this, so the society stands and they see no development, then you begin to japa. You begin to look for escape routes. You begin to blame one government or the other. But let them tell whether or not. That's why you begin to backslide. This is Southwest that was borrowing job. That in the First Republic, President was paying higher than federal civil servants. Federal civil service. Do you understand? This is the Western region that was toast of everybody. I think that should be how do we die. That's my position. But what have they produced? Bandits, Boko Haram. So if that has been, that's what we have, what they're talking about has produced. Anybody sensible want to think in that direction.
Mr. Adeyemi, I will need to let you go because the loads of messages that we have on Facebook and the way the phone lines have been buzzing, I mean, I just know that we really need to allow the people join the conversation. But I would, like I said, I would have to let you go. So if there are conversation, maybe questions or comments that you probably would have to respond to, I will get them across to you and then we'll post it on our social media, because I promised I was going to take you for just 45 minutes because I had to take you out of a very important meeting just for you to be with us on the show. So thank you very much. And let me quickly drop this.
Thank you very much.
Whatever opinion expressed on this show by Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adeyemi is his personal opinion. Doesn't represent the interest of the organization he represents. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll reach out to you. Okay. What a time. See, I'm trying to see if I can do all of this in terms of picking your calls and also reading your message, because boy oh boy, we've got loads of messages coming in. That was Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adeyemi, by the way. He's the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper, and then he joins me on the show every Thursday virtually, sometimes live in the studio. Sometimes today he's choosing to join us virtually, and whether you like it or not, religious tolerance is something that we need to be intentional about. Like I said, and I will continue to say, probably because of the way I was raised and all of that. I was raised in a very, very liberal family, and I grew up having friends outside of my religious faith. I've got personal friends. I've dated people that are not even within my religious faith. So I totally understand the respect that you should accord everyone. And sometimes when you look at people that you think they should be knowledgeable enough to make intentional decisions when it comes to issues like this, and then you look at the way they vibrate when it comes, and I'm like, how? Hold up. Did you just make this conversation? Did you just make this post? Like, you're surprised that the way religion whips our emotions and sentiment, and then somebody you think you know so well, and then a religious post comes up, or a religious conversation comes up, and then they literally just turn to beasts that you can't identify them anymore. And I think we need to be intentional about this. If truly we think we can tolerate ourselves, we should take it beyond just words of mouth. We should be intentional about it. Well, I'm always very careful when it comes to issues of religious discourse and debate like this, but Mr. Tᴜɪᴜ Adeyemi had broken everything down. It was really practical with his explanation on the show. He said he's a child of a pastor, a church owner, and the level of tolerance got so big that his father had to release a plot of land beside their church for the Muslims to pray, and that had been on for the past 6 years. Hey, I know of a place of worship in Jos. I think that should be around Old Bukuru Park, as if you want to go to Jos North. Anyone that's been in Jos very well. The oldest church and the oldest mosque are standing side by side each other. The buildings were donated by a set of twins. One of them is Muslim, the other one is Christian. And for all of the crises that had happened in Jos, those two buildings have remained standing beside each other. Nothing is separating them. No fence, no pathway. Twin building. One is a church and one is a mosque, and it's been standing there for many years. So what exactly are we talking about? We've got so much problems to face in our hands. Hey, in case you don't know, $500 million that we usually get as funding for HIV vaccines or HIV antiretroviral drugs has been stopped by the United States government. And what that means is, for the numbers of people living with that virus, and by the way, don't come here and say they caught it. Excuse me, it is not via sexual intercourse that people pick the virus. So let's get ourselves straight in that part. But that funding has ceased. What has that told you? In a country where we are spending over 10 billion to build a coastal lane, but we cannot take off the health sector, we have so much problems to deal with. I mean, you have Ogun, for instance, you have Ondo State, you have Ogun State, you have states in the southwest that can produce food that can feed the entire country, but they are still waiting for yam to come from Gombe. They are waiting for fish to come from Borno State. Things you can do for yourself. We have a lot of issues that we are dealing with. Do you know how many Nigerians have died in 2025 alone from avoidable deaths? Tanker explosion in Niger State, almost 100 people died. A building collapsed in Lagos, about 3 people died. We have a lot of problems to deal with. Rather than fanning the energy of negativity on the platform of religious intolerance or tolerance, whatever it is you want to do, we should be pumping this same energy into asking our political class how they are governing us. Are we being governed properly? Should we allow religion again to come divide us and distract us and not make us to ask the right question? And then we talk, and then we forget to ask the right question. We have 2024 budget that is going to run till 2025 June. That means you are not expected to have budget performance index until June, because you will not finish 2024 budget. We have more issues to deal with, but we're here talking about religion, talking about whether Sharia court or arbitration panel, whatever it is. Sometimes we just look for trouble for ourselves where there is none. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Good evening, sir.
Good to have you.
Thank you very much. My name is Lord. I'm calling from Sūľērē. I would like to call a scholar to back into this matter, first and foremost. Then, Baba Obasanjo, God bless his soul. About said it all.
God bless his soul. Baba Obasanjo is not dead.
Thank you, my brother. God bless Baba. God bless Baba.
Go on.
So, Baba said it. If I say it all, political Sharia, that's just a fact. I'm a Muslim. Sharia is the best for us. Take it or leave it, my brother. But do we do the way we're supposed to practice it? Look at what Oga just said now. Oga Yerima have introduced it. He used to use it. Look at hypocrite. That's where the blame is. I'm telling you, I'm a Muslim. I would love to have it. These are the things. They see that is the rule that govern Muslim. So I would like to call you over scholar for them to call those programs to explain to us more. We don't want hypocrites Sharia. Good Sharia that everybody will fall in line. Not all this political just bring issue without issue. Look at what you say. Look at people are suffering, and you are doing this kind of matter. You cannot use that one to solve your problem. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. And the funny part is the way we always respond to things like this always baffles me. Somebody will say, "Oh, a governor was alleged to have stolen so and so amount of money." We just look away, but just make a religious post. Ooh, Ambassador Musbao.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I keep on repeating this. We have lost it. Honestly, I don't know how far we are going. And to me, it would be better if we come back to our senses and how to regain it back. Look, we are talking about Sharia, whatever. Religions are, we do practice religions is something else. And not that we are holy. We are not. We are not holy. Assuming the way we practice it, we talk about it every day. We are holy. We follow the instruction, follow everything. It's only we want to exploit ourselves. We don't want to exploit ourselves with this kind of religion activities. Because we want to exploit ourselves. Look, to me, I believe God is love. We really love ourselves. You mentioned something, all the governors, a ton of coconut is 15 million. A ton. How the government start with? Do they
Are they benefiting from that?
We have lazy people. Lazy. Sure, I mean, expect money from the center. 50 million per ton. 50 million tons. Why can't the government took advantage of this? All the southwest, everywhere. Why can't they took advantage of our Greek to do something? Look, we are the problem ourselves. Until we are, as a citizen, ready to take the book by the horn. Not the violence anymore. But let's come and how to deal with politicians.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's make it 1 minute. I will also pick your calls and read your messages on Facebook and on X simultaneously. So let me pick calls now. I'll go on Facebook. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. This is Pastor Wadamosi.
You're welcome.
Yes, this Sharia of a thing we should tread carefully. I'm a Christian, and I believe strongly that something must come in between the way the social fabric of the particularly in Lagos here, where people just wear whatever they like, and I think that is the main problem. You see, people are so how do I put permissive now. Permissiveness is strong in the cities now, and if they are trying to do something about it, maybe not through Sharia, maybe some. Look at in Kano. They have the kind of police where they check you when you are.
That's Hisba.
You see, something like that. If they can bring it out, they show that you can't be so permissive to wear whatever even our housewives now see what you wear. Even Yorubas that don't used to do that. Now they are keyed into it. Now.
We have something like that also in Benue, where people that wear dreadlocks, they stop you from the bike and cut your hair.
Something like that. But we always say we are free and liberal and all that. Well, I don't know where to stand in this case.
It's very delicate.
Very delicate.
Thank you very much, Pastor Gwadawasi. I'm sure you saw the sarcasm in the example I made. There's a moral police in Benue. I mean, it was there under the administration of former governor Otom. I don't know if he's still there now, where if you wear dreadlock, they'll stop you, cut the dreads. If you're wearing clothes that they assume or they feel is not exactly in line with what the society appreciates, they'll take you, flog you, and take you back to your house. There's also Hisba in Kano that would confiscate businesses worth millions because they say you shouldn't sell alcohol at designated places. Well, I think we should just stick to this conversation. Hello, good evening.
Hey, hello, Mr. Ope.
You're welcome.
Good evening. Yeah, I salute you. You are doing a good job.
Thank you. Your name and where you calling from?
You said, my name is Mr. Odu. I'm calling you from Lagos.
Okay.
You see, when I hear people speak, Nigerians can be so comical. I mean, they are so funny. When you hear people speaking about Sharia law, I am from the first African indigenous church, the Eternal Sacred Order of Cherubim and Seraphim.
That's where my guest is from as well.
And I know that every churches have their own doctrine. As you know that also know that Nigeria is a secular state. How would you be championing a Sharia law, a law that is peculiar to the Muslim? I mean, the Sharia law. I mean, when you steal, they will cut your hand. They will do this. They will do that. That is not a shrine in the Christian belief. There's nothing like eye for an eye. Even Christ said it in the New Testament in Christian belief. So I mean, it doesn't make sense. You have the laws already. We have the law. We have the constitution already. But we are not just doing the right thing. Even in the north, that this thing is so extreme. Tell me any elite that has been scrutinized by Sharia law, and what masses do not affect you. Look at the young lady they killed in up north some months ago because they say she blasphemed. I don't understand the way Nigerians any problem in the country, particularly Yoruba people. And I just pray that us being liberal won't put us in trouble. Yeah, just like you said now, there are more issues. I'm so happy that you mentioned Okeogun. I am from Okeogun. I mean, the expanse of land in Okeogun, in fact, it's so alarming. I could remember there's a farm settlement in Okeogun, somewhere around the Sẹ́yìn. If you see that land, large hectares of land, for the governor of Oyo that is wanting to renovate that now. Why can't we go back to these things? Why can't the government revitalize farm settlement across Nigeria, for Christ's sake? There are better things to do. Why are people saying Sharia? What would that do? What would Sharia do for Christ's sake?
Thank you.
What will it do?
Thank you very much. Let me read messages on Facebook. Please, callers, let me hold your thoughts a bit. Let me read some of. Wow. Okay. I expected this though, because if you choose to discuss conversation like this, then you should expect to have this level of feedback. Babatunde Ayoade on Facebook says, well done, thank you, good work you're doing, God bless you, thank you very much. You said it's basically hypocrisy as far as you're concerned. Has the Sharia helped the northern oligarchy? Why are they still impoverished? And what is the value that has been added so far? John Bernard Oyi says, I was born and brought up in Kano before I moved to Southwest. The level of religious tolerance in the North and the Southwest is different. In the Southwest, Yorubas come first before talking about Muslim or Christian. I don't see Sharia law working in the Southwest. Remember, the insecurity in the North is an offshoot of Sharia law because it was hijacked by religious extremists. When the so-called politicians who introduced it cannot even implement it. Benjamin Isse on Facebook says, Can you see the problems that we're having in this country with our leaders? Instead of these leaders to call to come together and find solutions to serious challenges of insecurity, hunger, hardship, and the deportation of many citizens that have traveled abroad, they are busy talking about establishment of Sharia law here and there that will not even improve our economy, that will not return our school children back to school. With the leaders of those other countries of the world, what are they thinking about us? Okay. Thank you very much. That's Benjamin Ise from Shugnle. Reverend Solomon Jason Somi says these people are just looking for ways to cause serious division and problems amongst the Yoruba people all over the world. My immediate senior sister is married to a Muslim. She trained my first child in her husband's house, and we have been living peacefully together as a family. Any religion issues will be a big disaster amongst the Yoruba people all over the world. I don't want to talk too much on this issue, but just let the Yorubas rise up against anything that will cause serious division amongst us. Engineer Salako Kazim Morene KG is talking to us on Facebook, and he says, I agree to thank you. I'm a Muslim and I totally disagree with the establishment of the Sharia law because Nigeria is a secular state. The situation is getting irritating. I think, in my opinion, there's a negotiation between the government and the terrorist body. Terrorism in Nigeria, this is hidden and manifested. Okay. Okay. Let me skip the other part of your message because you made mention of the Muslim ticket. I said, okay, forget arbitration panel. If it stays, it will go beyond that, and no one will hold them to initial space. I'm disappointed in Khan and other religious body. What are they doing about it? Nigeria is just okay. Let me skip that last one also. Atonaka this summer gave us a thumbs up. Thank you. Unique Destiny says Southwest should just resist it vehemently. Nigeria is a secular state, not a Muslim state. The economy's narratives they should be pushing are not dealt with. Rather, they are pushing unprofitable religious narrative. Nigeria, Dowore Olua, I come in peace. Christopher F. Young says, well done, guy. The guests have done justice to the issue on ground. And some people think they can cause religious war in this country by all means. Look at well-known and well-educated man like the Sultan of Sokoto is trying to do under the president. Okay, no. Let me skip that. Atondaka de Samuel says, now it's quite clear that the law of Sharia spread hasn't died from the picture of the Sultan of Sokoto. Thanks for the update on Zamfara State on the killing of that should be Jengebe. That's the man that has his hand amputated in October 1999. Yes, that was under the administration of former governor of the states. That's Yerima. Yes, the Sharia victim. That's the first victim in 1999. Thank you very much. I know Kayode says, since it's a southwestern thing, all I can say is Yoruba Ronu. Kendi Okpe says, Kendi from Ijebu. Good afternoon, sir. I'm a practicing Muslim. I totally disagree with this business and political stand of the Sultan of Sokoto. Okay, I'm trying to sieve through these comments. I have to be very careful. You said you have been observing him from the death of Deborah and Sokoto and the invasion of bandits killing the farmers down south, even the extent of sending foodstuff back to the north. This so-called Sultan of Sokoto, he had never condemned any of these ill treatments. Since then, I've lost the love I have for him. I don't listen to him anymore. Before fasting, when we Southwest Muslim practice Islam, okay, my oh my. Thank you very much, Kendi Okpe. But in case I don't read your messages in full, it is because we have to be extremely careful, when we are taking some of these messages here. Back to the phone lines, and I'll read your text messages on our number. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Good evening. This is Miracle from Badagry.
You're welcome, Miracle, and thank you. You've been calling since.
Yeah, you see, I want to ask a very simple question, Mr. Okpe. Sharia law, do you think it's against human rights or not?
I can't give you that answer, Mr. Miracle.
You see, it is definitely against human rights. And it's not supposed to even be talked about, if you understand me. Your guest made mention of something that it's practiced somewhere. I mean, people have been using it since all this, years gone by. But a culture, being a culture, is not supposed to carry on when it affects the life of people. When it's not widely recognized. Human rights is something that is not even good at all to even talk about. The culture of killing the twins back then, it wasn't a culture then. Wasn't abolished. It's Are we talking about it today? No.
No.
So we should abolish the Sharia law. So it's very simple.
But do you know the Sharia?
Very simple.
Let me ask you something. Do you know the Sharia law is captured in the Nigerian Constitution?
Not at all. It's not supposed to be there, but it was just sneaked in.
Okay.
In the north, not even across the country. You understand me?
Okay, Mr. Miracle, there's no northern constitution or southern constitution. We have one single constitution, that's the 1999 constitution as amended. Okay, our comrade Koboko is texting and he says, okay, you were responding to my introduction when I was talking about Magic Fashek. Says Send Down the Rain was in July 1988. I don't like the new generation that we have now, the singles that don't have meaning, just beats. Okay, you also said, have you seen what your guest is saying? This Sharia will cause wahala. They want to use Sharia to intimidate Tinubu in 2027. Okay, the question you're asking is it because of the instigation of Sharia? We have constitution, not Sharia. Not that we don't tolerate ourselves. Okay, you also went on to say that if we don't want Sharia, does it mean we're not tolerant? Sharia, is it Gary or rice? Is it Gary or rice that we don't see to it? Sharia, has it solved any problem of the citizens speaking? Okay. Thank you very much, Comrade Koboko. I hope I've been able to read a few of your messages. That are quite much though. You said, you see, the Muslim Sharia is a strategy. Okay. Let me pick us. Hello, good evening, Mr. Alaba.
Mr. Akwe, good evening.
Good to have you on the show today.
This one that you are laughing at.
You need to see the messages I have here. I have to thoroughly filter these messages.
I thought you don't show Baba Jebuni.
No.
Good evening to you.
Thank you.
You know I'm a Muslim. Yeah, I want to say this. Yes, you might be saying that everybody is fighting for his right. You know, as a democracy, that everybody has his own right to be protected, and under the law should be protected. But we should know, in my family, I have traditionalists, I have pastors, many Christians, I have lots of Muslims. You understand me? Or where I work, like that kind of mixture is also there. Where I live, what if we have any issue? Which court are we going to take it to? Are you getting my point? So I think what we, the Muslims, need now is how are we going to train our children? How are we going to build our homes? I want to say this. I don't care whoever is listening. Go to those people who are troubling the society today. You will find out that this majority of them are these Muslim children that is not trained.
Okay. Mr. Alaba, I understand the sensitivity of the discourse on the show today, and that was why I moved it till Thursday, because I wanted Mr. Muyiwa to dig into it. And please, I would love us to respect people. You can't stereotype on my show. You know that before now. You should know that before now. You can't generalize that the people causing trouble are from. No. Do you know how many Yoruba criminals that they've caught and jailed and in this country? Okay, let me talk to Obi before I go back to Facebook. Ooh, I got a bit late. 09136000410. Praise wise. Let's do this real quick.
A media around you.
You're welcome.
But one thing, number one, those Sharia committee, you're supposed to invite one of them to escape to Nigeria. Means the man you invited today never know everything in Islam. When we are talking on hijab to our children the other time, people are arguing, this is not this, at the end of the day, did you see any trouble? She's in 1960 today when we get independence. If in Nigeria should say, okay, let us, our conscience should be based between the Christian and Muslim. Now, anything happen in the north, they say that for northerners. No. This thing they are asking now, not the compulsory child, just to regulate marriage between you and anybody that opts out. It's optional. Like this hijab we are talking about. If my children refuse to take hijab to school, nobody will cross very yoshi. So for me, this very one, this is the explanation of your guest this afternoon. I'm not 100% agree with him. That was something he said that is against my religion, but I keep it like that. But one day you have chance, one of those people operating this thing call them to the so let them stay to Nigeria. Because this matter is optional, not compulsory for any Muslim at all, for any Christian at all. Just to regulate marriages and something like that. Do you see this back in Lagos now in Nigeria?
Prince Wise, thank you. I actually gave you an extra like 40 seconds. So please, I gave you extra 40 seconds. Please, let's just keep to a 1 minute agreement. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Ope.
Your name and where you calling from?
Dixon from Ogun State.
I didn't get your name.
Dixon. Okay,
Mr. Dixon from Ogun State. Okay.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that at this age and time, we are still talking of laws that we amputate when we have already so many amputees that we cannot even cater for. I'm wondering, the problem we have in this country is the elite. The elite, they are the people that will plunge this country to problem. The people are hungry. Either you will think of how you will encourage the farmers, go and farm, encourage this, encourage that. You are talking of the religion that will bring division, that will bring problem. It's just unfortunate. And please, I want to appeal to the governors of the Southwest. If they dare accept those laws, they will be held responsible. It's unfortunate. We should think of how to cater for our children now. Cater for this country. All hands should be on deck. Put religion aside. Everybody has his own religion. It's just unfortunate that elite should be talking this kind of, we'll be saying such a thing, bringing in Sharia law. Depending that involved this Sharia was involved in the child molestation, was for child marriage. Marriage. Imagine. Do what I say, not what I do. It's unfortunate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. People should stop saying what they don't know. Sharia is not a culture, it's a law. And a caller that said it against human rights is funny. The transmission against human rights, and besides, is transmission against human rights, and besides, it's only for Muslim and it's not by force. Why are Christians determine whether they want it or not? It's funny. Some Muslim would like it, some won't. It's up for the Muslim to decide their fate. Thank you very much. All Legit News on Facebook. Ooh, I got our caller a bit late. Wow, loads of messages to read here. This one says, irrespective of what anyone thinks, whether there's Sharia or not, the people wants to eat. Even the people pushing for the Sharia agenda, have they even eaten? Nigeria have more problems to solve, just like you have listed up. God bless Nigeria and God bless everyone. Thank you very much. That's Festus from Ikorodu. Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Ope, my man.
You're welcome. Your name and where are you calling from?
This is Babala calling from Baramagodo.
Okay.
Please, I always want to ask 2 questions first.
I hope I can answer those questions.
Okay, of course, I know, I believe you. Okay. So, since they have been practicing this Sharia law from northern side, what have they benefit from it? That's my first question. Then again, upon the whole thing that we are encountering in this country, they are still talking about Sharia law. In fact, I don't know how these people just wake up one day, they go and bring some frivolous something that doesn't even make sense, that don't even have any benefit to anybody. That was how this man that now left APC when introduced hijab to secondary school in Osun during his own era.
That should be Ogbeni.
Yes, God bless you. So I don't know. They cannot think. Let's have mechanized farming, all those things that we change the whole problem that we are facing. They just go and bring a problem upon problem. It is when we leave people. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of the show today, and more than anything else, I just hope this issue does not escalate more than it is already. I've seen, statement of a certain Yoruba cultural group. I've also seen the statement of the Areano Kakan for Yoruba land, Gani Adams, and of course I've also seen the statement of the Sultan of Sokoto. I've also seen the statement of Murik. Everyone seems to be talking, everyone seems to having an opinion, but just like one of the callers said, if we can get them to come talk about it, we'll certainly have them. Hopefully we'll have maybe a few days to reach out, and maybe we should just sort it out once and for all. I understand how sensitive we can be when it comes to the issue of religion, but more than anything else, humanity first. You were born before you became a religious person. And I had an opinion a couple of years back that a lot of people would not even choose the religion they are practicing now if they had the choice at birth. Many people are actually practicing this religion because that was the religion your father was practicing, that you were born a Christian, that's why you're a Christian, you were born a Muslim. A lot of people, if they had the choice, would not even choose. So why would you want to kill yourself for a choice you inherited? Have a very beautiful evening. My name is Oᴏᴜᴜ Akinade. The program you just listened to is the Situation Room live on Mainland 98.3 FM. The same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. Same station, Mainland 98.3 FM. And by 5:30, we'll have the Sunset News by 6 o'clock. What a night it was in the UEFA Champions League yesterday. All the games played simultaneously, and as predicted, all of the big boys scaled through. Manchester City, PSG, all of them will be up for the draws for the playoffs tomorrow. All of this will be by 6 o'clock on Sports Cruise. Join us. But before then, the news in a couple of minutes. Stick with us.
ọ̀rọ̀ màrè ará àdúgbò wọ́n ti gbà Sàmíràndé wọ́n pè yẹn lónìí.